to y'all who've given some badges, put some badges in the bucket. Nakia, thank you. Marsha, Pebbles, Rosina, Tasha, Nikki. Hey, Jules.
Hey, Dr. Eddie. Hey,
I don't know.
everyone.
Am I dropping some jewels tonight? I don't know. Am I?
Absolutely. I'm loving it.
Okay. I appreciate it. Where's let me see. Let me see where Tequila, if she's able to join. If not, she can join a little bit later. Um, well, yeah. What do you? Let's get into the topic tonight. Listen, it's tight, but it's gonna be right. It's what it is on this. Can you expect a spouse if there's no order in your house? And listen, I know you part of the academy, so I know you got your house in order. And what does that
Most
really look
definitely.
like? What does that look like to really get your house in order? Tequila, hey, good to see
Hey,
you.
hey, Jewel.
Hey, Tequila.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, we're talking tonight, and maybe you heard my monologue. I'm glad now we able to have some dialogue. Can you expect a spouse if there's no order in your house? And what does that look like? Should people just feel entitled to have a spouse because they have a certain age, they got some children, or they feel as if they see the movies and they watching I don't know, Jason's Lyric, or they watching Poetic Justice for the 55th time? What is it? Make it make sense, y'all.
Un momento. I got my glasses.
Right, because we need to see real clear on this one. Clarity. We need
Well, I'll
clarity.
start
Yeah, go
while she
ahead.
get her glasses. Well, I believe they can expect whatever, okay?
Okay.
But it would be in their best interest to get their house in order, before they try to court, date, you know, and go into like a relationship or a marriage. But yeah, you can expect whatever, but you got to make sure, like you were saying, you got to make sure you are getting your house in order. And what that can look like is, that inner healing work, working on your character. For me, that can also be, like just getting back into your feminine energy as a woman, right?
Mm.
That can also look like increasing your skill set. It's a whole lot of stuff that's where you have to really sit down with yourself and just like assess yourself and ask yourself, like, what do I need to be working on right now? Yes, I'm expecting a spouse, but what do I need to get in order before my spouse comes, right? And then you just
Hmm.
start, mapping it out and get to work.
Expound a little bit more because you said something significant. You talked about feminine energy. Somebody's listening, like, hey, I don't really know too much about that. What does that? What does that really mean? What does that maybe even look like a little bit?
Mhm.
Because we see so many sisters, and I don't know. Can you blame them who have to hold down the house, who have to hold down the children, who have to assume a leadership role? Yes, in the boardroom, but also in the homeroom, so to speak. How do they not have? How do you not tap into that masculine energy? How do you quote unquote man down, so to speak?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Well, you
what do
have
you
to
say to
know
that?
how to, I believe you have to know how to turn it on and off. So, for like, I'm going to just use single mothers as an example. When there's no father in the home, single mothers are used to operating in their masculine energy. So that's where, like on Saturdays, I have self-care Saturdays. So,
Mm,
you can start, like on your self-care days where you're just loving on yourself and you're slowing down. It's all about slowing down, checking in with yourself, making sure, like checking your tone. It's just really just making sure you are just operating with ease and flow, right? Feminine energy can look different for different women, you know
mm.
it can be in how you communicate with the opposite sex. You got to learn how to communicate with a man, and that's what you taught us inside of DEA.
Right, Ten Commandments of communication, how
Right.
to speak Manglish. Yeah,
Hmm.
you said you hit some key points on there for sure.
Hmm.
Um, Jules, what say you?
Okay, so I agree with Tequila. That's very true. I'd like to also add that sometimes we expect too much. Like we want something that we ourselves we're not already that person. So I don't think that's realistic. So before we even say we want a spouse, we should be very honest with ourselves. And we should do a self analysis, to see whether we are whole. Are we still broken? Is there something that we need to fix? How is our esteem level? Do we love ourselves? How can we expect someone to love us, and how can we expect to receive that love? How can we expect to love someone if we don't even know how to love ourselves? Do we know who we are? So these are things that we should first check. We need to do a soul search. We need to analyze our own life. We need to get our own house in order. Our spiritual house, physical house, as I heard you mention earlier, is our house clean? If do we clean our homes? Do we clean our car? How is our heart? Do we harbor negative emotions? Do we harbor grudges, malice, unforgiveness? Because when we move on to the stage where we're in a marriage, situations will rise. And how are we going to handle those situations if we don't know how to deal with simple conflicts? How do we handle matters when we're angry? So during our time of singleness, this is when we really need to work on ourselves so that we can improve, so that we can become the best version of ourselves, so that we can also serve our future spouse. So it's very important that we do get our house in order, our own lives in order before we even desire marriage. Because if we are broken and God has that person who is whole, they spend the time improving their lives, advancing themselves, and then we are there, we could damage what God has given to us, We could jeopardize it. So it's very important that we do not set our own self up for failure. We work on ourselves as we trust God to work on that person who we believe is also working on themselves too, so that when we both come together, everything will flow as it ought to. So it's very, very important that we all analyze our own selves so that we can be the best person that we're called to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This is good. I think as I'm listening, I'm thinking, is there a fine line between getting your house in order and how much somebody needs to have in order versus paralysis by analysis?
Hmm. Um,
Because nobody's perfect.
right.
We got to have grace for that. Nobody's perfect, but is there a difference between trying to get perfection and paralysis by analysis of what somebody should have in order?
I don't think so. I mean, as if we're working on ourselves, because in my opinion, we should strive to become the best version. We'll never become perfect. We're never perfect, so we'll never get to perfection, but we should at least try. The
Hmm.
goal is to try. And if we're trying, then we will get close to perfection, if that makes sense. So
Okay.
that's my thoughts on it. You know, we always want to know that we're growing. The goal should be growing, constant self growth, self improvement, so that when we team up with our future spouse, that purpose partner, then we're able to successfully achieve all that we are called to achieve. You know, because if we're not working on ourselves, then that foundation is already broken.
Hmm. True. What do you say, Tequila, on that?
Yeah, no, I agree with Jules. Because I was actually going to ask you, like, what is the percentage, when you're getting your house in order? But I do agree with Jules. I think, the main things to focus on when you're getting your house in order, you want to have character. Character is everything, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you want the character in place. You want to make sure, you are healed. Okay. Um, on that inside, like, don't just look good on the outside, look good on the inside as well. So you want to focus on the inner healing work, having character, growing spiritually in the Lord. And I just believe if you have those things, you can probably work with the other person, the spouse God bring into your life. But just growing every day, getting better, just striving to be your best self.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I just wanted to answer something. Someone's asking what is house in order. A house in order is like, it's like when you are, okay, you are preparing, spiritual background is, but if you're a Christian, like you're preparing the way so that God can manifest Himself through you. That's what house in order is. But as it relates to the relationship aspect of it, how do we get our house in order? In other words, get our lives together. If our credit is not where it needs to be, now is the time to do the necessary changes so as to fix your credit, improve your credit, rebuild your credit. Don't wait until when you get into the marriage, then you're gonna bring in all of that financial burden, all of that, extra stuff that you could have in your singleness worked on, because we all know when you have great credit, then there's so many opportunities. So this is what fixing your house. This is what putting your house in order means. I mean, it means basically getting your life together, getting your act together, improving you, becoming the best man that you can be, become the best woman that you can be. So that's what it is in a nutshell. So of course, no relationship is perfect. Everyone is different. But if I fix me and you fix you, then we're good. And it works in any relationship, be it a marriage, be it in a family, friendship, or whatsoever. As long as everyone is working on their own, focusing on their own self, becoming their best version, aspiring to do that daily through self-love, through empowering themselves, educating themselves, aligning themselves with people who are where they would like to be in life. These are how you get your house in order. This is how you get your life in order. This is how you get yourself together, basically. Even if it's to change your wardrobe, change your outfit, your appearance, that's a start. A new appearance, a new mindset, self-talk, positive self-talk. These are changes. These are steps that is necessary in order to move your life ahead and to live that successful life, so as to have your house in order and so as to attract the right people in your life. So I hope I explained that, in a way that you can understand.
Okay, listen, when you talk about marriage, one of the key reasons why marriages don't last, one of them is money. We mentioned, cleaning up your not just your character, of course, getting your communication in order, and but also your not cleanliness as well, but also your credit score. Say, for instance, somebody got a good credit score, but you got $50,000 in loan because your prayer was, God, I want him to have a degree at least. You want him to have a certain level of education, but that put him in $40,000 to $50,000 in the hole. Good God, met all the standards, whatever the case may be. Would you want to assume, because whatever is his is yours, and vice versa? Would you want to assume that type of financial responsibility?
No, absolutely not. No, that would be, I would not want that burden. And I hope I don't get that burden. But if that's the case, then I would have to work with it. But you better get it together because I'm getting mine together.
Okay. All right. Well, that's how we got the degree, though.
I know, but still, there are ways to still fix your credit. I understand, yes, that's how he got his degree, and of course it got him into a debt. But is he is he um is he creating changes that will help to repair his credit? That's the question. If that's something that he's working on, and all right, we can work along with that if he's rebuilding his credit and he's spending wisely. But if he's not spending wisely and he's just doing foolish things and he's just making extra purchases, then obviously
No,
that's just
he's saving up for you, but he got $45,000 worth of student loan debt because of Sally Mae.
okay. Well, in that case, we just have to team up and work together.
Also, now the answer changed.
It depends on the situation. Sometimes there's compromise. Sometimes there's
All right.
compromise.
Okay. What do you say? What do you say to that, Tequila?
I mean, it's all about teamwork. If that's my spouse, it's about teamwork. That's something I'm working on. And as long as I see the effort, he's trying to improve his credit. If he's steady piling up the debt, that might be a concern. But as long as I see, okay, he's working on improving, like paying his debt off, hey, we good to go. Because I can't judge him and I can't say, well, no, this is not going to work based off of how much debt he have, because he could be looking at me and seeing something and wondering, like, I don't know, right? So it's teamwork. You just gotta, like I said, for me, it goes back to character. I'm looking at his walk with the Lord. I'm looking at I have my things that I'm looking at. If what I'm looking at is checking off, we could work with the debt. We could pay that debt off. We can map out a plan, an action, and get that debt wiped off and, back on track.
And if God is in, God is going to open that door. He's going to create some sort of financial breakthrough. Wipe it out.
Listen,
out that debt.
y'all are saying some good stuff, but at the end, when you really get down to the nitty gritty, are these things that you all mentioned, these key ingredients, enough for today's modern woman?
Well, it depends on which woman. The modern woman, the kingdom-minded woman. Which woman are we referring to?
She's the modern woman who's kingdom-minded. All the above. just the fact that she is woman, hear me roar. She's every woman. It's all in her.
It should be.
Yeah.
Why is it not?
I mean, that's her standard. Whatever, I can't speak for other women. That's her standard. That's probably what she preferred not to deal with or to deal with. I can only speak for myself. So I'm a team player. Okay. So, I can't speak for the other one.
All right. Well, I'm sure you hear these conversations and you hear the list. They checked it twice. I don't know if they're more naughty than nice, but we hear the list. Matter of fact, they post the list.
But their list could be the reason why they're single.
True.
Okay. Yeah, well, somebody wrote me the other day, said, I think you're right. My type has been the reason why I'm single. And they keep returning back to that. So, but no, you all gave some good clarity tonight. Good clarity. What y'all working on? What you have coming up? Let's there's a little freestyle Friday. Let y'all share a little bit. Something maybe our audience can connect to.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't be bashful now. y'all can 3 snaps in a neck roll, Z formation it when we talking about relationships, but you get bashful about what you up to. Don't get stirred now.
Well, I'm working on a book that I have been working on for the longest time. I've been procrastinating, and I finally gotten the motivation to complete it. So I'm on the verge of, I'm not quite there yet to complete. God is still pouring into me, so that's what I'm focusing on. So you'll be seeing a book from me soon. But I would like you all to like my page, follow me on social media. The name is HIS-jules Purpose. I like to inspire and motivate others. I do share, content as it relates to faith, spirituality, and just self-love, positive, having a positive mindset. So expect a lot of great things from me in the near future.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm working on releasing my 5th book, How to Raise Kids Without a Father. That will be available soon. And I'm also, just launching out our Successful Single Mother Academy. And everyone, you can find me over on YouTube at Tequila Coleman, and just connect with me over there. We talk a lot about single motherhood, how to be successful as a single mother and raising your kids on your own. So yeah, just connect with me over there over on YouTube at Tequila Coleman, and that is it.
All right. Thank you all, ladies, for joining us. He say, she say.
Thank you.
We'll do it again with y'all on Wednesday.
Thank you,
All
Dr.
right.
Eddie. Bye,
Absolutely
guys.
appreciate it. All right. That's what it is. That's what it is. Having a conversation, like for those of you who are just joining us, it was reset the digital room, the digital door, so to speak. We're talking about, can you expect a spouse if there's no order in your house? What does even order look like for you? In its own idiosyncratic individual way. It's different from that for different people, different strokes for different folks. What does order look like to you? Maybe you say, hey, it's me getting my character together. Maybe it's developing your communication skills. Maybe it is